Hello there, YouTube. I wanted to take a few minutes and just kind of go over some of the different holster options that are out there today and kind of give you my take on some of these different holsters that I use depending on my needs or dress or attire or whatever the case may be. I wanted to show you a couple different types of holsters that I use. Now, there are the traditional, like, outside the waistband nylon holsters. These are all, for the most part, these are going to be things that I actually use inside the waistband. You have to keep in mind that I'm a lefty, so for me, a holster is really important because I need to be able to draw from the left side instead of the traditional right side. So for me, sometimes finding a holster that works well for my different uses is a little bit difficult. I wanted to start off with something that comes from the factory, which is the Sig Sauer P938. Actually comes with this nice little holster, and so does the P238. And that is a really tiny gun. Every gun I'm going to show you has been safety checked. They are all cleared and empty. There's no magazines in any of them. But this is the Sig Sauer holster that it comes with, and it's actually a really nice holster. It has really good retention, almost too good retention. It has an adjustable screw to back some of that off. From the factory, it's made as a right-handed holster, so this would go through your belt, grab a hold of your belt, and then when you yank on the pistol, it's going to come out of the holster. Now, me as a lefty, what's nice is I can actually take almost any slim, and I consider this a pretty slim holster, and I can actually put this inside the waistband on the left side, so that my body is on the inside of this holster. And this actually is pretty comfortable to wear as a inside the waistband holster as a lefty, when it's actually made to be a right side holster for outside the waistband. But these guns are pretty small, so they tend to disappear on you pretty easily. Just to give you an idea of the scale of this, this is a full-size 1911, and this is the Sig Sauer P938. I mean, you can about fit two of these inside of this gun. It's so small. So its size is minuscule comparatively. So it's a very small gun. The 938 is bigger than the 238. The 238 is even smaller than that. Now, this is a full-size 1911. I carry a full-size every now and then, usually like my 10mm or something like that, if I'm going to carry full-size. But I traditionally carry like the really, the much smaller officer size, or I have a CCO that I carry that's a 4-inch slide with the officer size frame. The other holster that gets used with the 938 a lot, and I've had a chance to use this for about a month now, is the VersaCarry holster. And pretty much its name is dead on with why this is a good holster. This is a really versatile holster. The nice thing about this holster is that you can put this on at a 45-degree angle. It stays in there pretty good. As you wear it, it gets looser a little bit. You'll see that when you first start using it, this little plug will start to, and even if I do it a couple times here, you'll see it starting to shave off some of the yellow from this plug. But this plug is supposed to be guaranteed not to damage your bore. I've seen no problems from it. I don't have any qualms about using it at all. This holster is ambidextrous, which is really nice. Because this gun is actually for my wife to carry, but sometimes I use it depending on, if I'm just wearing a t-shirt and shorts or something like that, which today isn't a good idea because it's about 10 degrees out. But this gun, this holster rather, is dovetailed with some little dovetails where you can actually pull this blade out, flip it around to the other side, and it's either right or left-handed, depending on how you choose to use this. Now, you'll see I actually carved a little notch out of mine. And I'll show you why, because when I carry this left-handed, this blade actually blocks the trigger guard from the outside of your pants. This is an inside the waistband holster. I would wear this with my body on this side and, my back pocket right around here somewhere, so I can't accidentally pull the trigger. Now, this gun, obviously you'd have the safety up and everything, but it's an extra little guard so you don't pull the thing out by the trigger or something crazy like that. I trimmed this just a little bit so that it would not engage the safety. Because what I had found, and if I stick a magazine in there, you'll see, is when there was a piece of plastic there, I could accidentally pop the magazine out, which would not be a good thing. So since I just stuck a magazine in there, I know that I didn't rack it, but I'm going to safety check it again anyway. This holster is really, really great for, like, you throw it on, you stick it in your pants, you jump in the car, you pull it off when you get in the car. You know, it's a real nice, easy on, easy off holster. The one thing you cannot do with this holster is reholster while on the fly, because if you have this thing stuck down in your pants, you're never going to be able to, like, get this in there right. It's not made for that. That's more of what these holsters that I'm going to talk about in a second are made for. But this is nice because you can pull the whole rig off you in about 1 second and easily reholster it back in. And, you know, if you want to change the way you're carrying it, if you're carrying it in the back or in the front or on the side, appendix, whatever it may be, you know, or sometimes you could just pull this thing out and stick it in your jacket pocket or whatever. And the nice thing is it keeps your muzzle plugged, so you're not going to get something jammed in there. Or, you know, if I pocket carry this without this, I might pull the thing out and it'd be all packed full of pocket lint and all kinds of other crap like that. So I really like the VersaCarry for what it's intended for, and I find that I use it a lot more than I thought that I would. One of the advantages this has is that it's one solid rig. You pull it off, you put it back on. You know, it's one nice collective piece. My go-to holster when it comes to going to the range, IDPA, carrying larger guns, that sort of thing, is I actually have a full-size Crossbreed inside the waistband holster. And you can see this thing's been through quite a bit of battle. When you have these made, they you know, you can get them made with adjustable cant, and they can do all kinds of fancy stuff to make it, you know, fit your gun right. Or, I'm sorry, to make it, like, fit your draw right, like your natural angle of draw. The holster's really durable. Mine's like the cowhide, and this is seriously comfortable. This thing is like, I mean, I would wear a pair of pants made out of this stuff. I don't think I'd go that far, but it's a really comfortable holster. The only problem I've ever had with it were these screws coming loose every now and then, but that's nothing a dab of Loctite can't hurt or can't fix. It does have a really nice big sight trench in it, so like I said, I typically carry an officer size, but you can see that this is nice because it will carry anything from my officer size 1911 to a full size 1911. Now the full size sticks down a little bit below where the end of the holster is, but it doesn't really seem to bother me. It's got that, like I said, it's got that nice big sight trench there, so even if you're tilting the gun as you're pulling it out, it just real nice and easy. Because this is Kydex, and I love Kydex because it's thermomotable, if I need this to have a more retention factor or less retention factor, I can just heat this up and sort of press on it, and it'll mold to a little bit, you know, to my liking. You can see this is real loose right now, and that's because it's not in my pants. But once you bend this thing around your waist, I have it pretty much set to like the exact amount of retention I want. I mean, I can have this pretty stiff or I can have it pretty loose. It depends on how I like to carry it. Along with that, those are for specific guns. One of the advantages of this guy is that this will fit, like, the plug is for the caliber. So they have like a 9mm caliber, 45, you know, etc. And the cool thing is, like, say I have an M&P shield. Well, this is versatile. I can use this with an M&P shield also. Or like a slew of other guns. There's dozens of other guns. Basically, if it fits on there, you can use it. I mean, they sell them with basically different calibers and different lengths of how long this piece actually is. I mean, obviously I can even jam my 9mm on there, except it's way short. So if I wanted to get one for my 9mm, they have one for a full-size 1911. It's just much longer. So when you look on VersaCarry's website, they're done by size. The other thing, these are super cheap. I think I paid like $20 shipped for this, as opposed to like a Crossbreed. I mean, they're more like $70. and the shipping on that was extremely fast. This is sort of a knockoff crossbreed. It's made by Everyday Holsters. I mean, there's a million companies that make these. This holster is a little weird looking because it was originally for my Glock 19, but after I parted with my Glock 19, I had to make it work with a 1911. And if you look at my crossbreed holster and you look at a double stack 1911, so this is a wide body. So it's got a really wide frame. It holds like 19 rounds, and it's also got the half rail. You aren't going to go sticking that very easily into the crossbreed holster. It doesn't really like the way that it fits up here in the front. It does fit, and for this particular gun, it's okay, but it's not the best. So what I did was I just took my Glock 19 holster, heated it up, used some leather gloves, pressed it down, and made it fit this gun specifically. So it fits this one like a glove. You can even see the little dimples where the top of the frame actually fits, and you can see how I've increased the retention a little bit just by heating it up and pressing down on it with some leather to make it fit this gun specifically. So this is a really great holster too. I do love Kydex holsters, but this is becoming something that I'm using more and more for my everyday carry stuff. And I wanted to give you a little quick look at this VersaCarry holster. You know, if this is something that would work for you, and I would definitely like to have another one for a full-size 1911 just to try it out. I've been carrying this thing around for well over a month, really kind of beating the crap out of it, and it's been resilient. I haven't had any trouble drawing my weapon on like practice drills. I haven't had any problems with anything other than reholstering. And like I said, it's not really intended for that. It's more intended to be removed and put back on as a full rig. And for that, it really shines. It's great for that. You get in the car, the thing's uncomfortable, you just pull the whole thing off and stick it in your glove box or whatever, and then when you get out of the car, you just right in your pants and you're ready to go. So I really like these holsters, and I think that they're, you know, something I'd definitely like to have another one of. I have other holsters as well, but these are like the main ones that I use to carry. I would say probably I'm about 50-50. I use the crossbreed because it fits a bunch of different 1911s, and then I use this as my bug gun holster. But this has been seeing a lot of mileage lately. This has been going a lot of places with me. And even though it's winter here in Pennsylvania and it's freezing cold, I've been carrying this small gun just because I really like this. I really like this pistol. It's a good gun. Shoots really well, and it carries super easy. But if I need some serious firepower, or I'm going into some of the sketchy areas or something like that, then I always carry my full size because it's like I said, it is winter. We can conceal large weapons like this very easily with all the winter gear we're wearing right now. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a few minutes and show you a couple of these different kinds of holsters that there are out there, and let you pick one based on your needs. But for me, I can't pick one. I need to have a couple different ones because I have different needs for different situations. So there you go. Enjoy. Few minutes and just kind of go over some of the